Hello to everyone. In the video of today, we are going to distinguish graphically the different types of business combination. In particular, we are going to pay attention to mergers, acquisition of assets and liabilities, and acquisitions of shares and consolidation. So starting for the most simple operation, we will see how graphically in the balance sheet we see how the structures of the company vary when we buy assets and liabilities of another company and we pay for them an amount in cash. So we have company one that is composed by its assets, liabilities, and by difference, as usual, we will obtain the equity. This company one is interested in buying another business. So when we are buying another business, we need to consider that what we are buying for are the assets minus the liabilities. So this will be the parts that we are going to integrate in the operation. In this case, company one will pay an amount in cash for this operation. So the final graph will be, we put together all the assets of company one, all the assets of company two, and within these assets, we discount the amount that we pay for the company. Then we put together all the liabilities of the first company, all the liabilities of the second company, and the equity, the shareholders are maintained. So the structure of the company is the same one at the beginning. The ownerships of the company, one that we see at the beginning of the explanation, are the same ones that we have at the end. The second type of operation that we want to highlight today are the mergers. In this case, we are going to have again one company, a second one, and a third one. These companies decide to negotiate, and the shareholders of the three companies that are represented in equity 1, equity 2, and equity 3 decide to form a new company and put all their businesses together. This means that they will take all the assets, having a bigger company. They will also put all together all the liabilities, and the final step requires that all the shareholders of the three company came as shareholders of this final big company. For doing so, what we did is put together all of them in the equity of company one. For doing so, what company one does is to do a capital increase and give its shares in exchange of the assets and liabilities of company 2 and on exchange of the assets and liabilities of company 3. The last type of business combination that we will see today is the acquisition of shares, and so what will require later on to do a consolidation. So in this case, we have company 1, and because they want to invest in another market or because they want to invest in a new business, they decide that they will want to buy company 2. Instead of buying all the assets and liabilities and paying a certain amount of cash, as we saw in the first graph, what they are going to do is buying the shares. So they will maintain more or less the same structure. There will continue to be two companies that will have to do accounting in separate financial statements, but the owner of company 2 will be company 1. So if we look to the assets of company 1, we will see that there, within the financial assets, we have the shares of company 2. And we will see, if we look to it into detail, that the amount of cash will have decreased due to pay for these shares. These companies will continue to work together, and given the relationship that there exists among them, accounting standards requires that then not only prepare separate financial statements, but also prepare the consolidated ones, showing in just one picture all the assets of the group. The results will be the final company that we are looking at, where all the assets are together of company 1 and 2, and all the liabilities also. But In this case, as you see, we have only the equity of company 1. Why? Because the only owner of all these businesses are the shareholders of company 1. So, after adding all the elements, as we will see in any merger and acquisition course, we will need to take into account that we need to take out the shares of company 2 of the assets of the consolidated financial statements. Thanks for your attention, and I hope that this will have helped you to better distinguish the different types of business combinations.